Hello there, and welcome to the weekly outlook. Well, there's not really much to go into next week. We've got obviously we're leading up to the Christmas holiday. We've got very little announcements out next week. In fact, the only thing we've got really of any interest is the final GDP quarter on quarter on the US dollar on Tuesday. We've got the core retail sales figures for Canadian dollar and core durable goods orders for the USA on Wednesday. USA unemployment claims on Thursday, and then obviously we're into Christmas Day. So there's not a great deal going to be happening next week. A lot of people are going to be leaving the markets now until after the holiday. So what we can look at is just what we expect to sort of happen in terms of where we are in the markets at the moment. Now we did have obviously the US dollar interest rate hike last week, which has caused a little bit of volatility, and we are seeing some strength in the US dollar across the board at the moment. Now, as per my yearly outlook analysis, which I will be writing for next week, will be released next week, we'll be looking at how we expect that interest rate to affect the markets in the new year and what we can expect to happen. And now we are starting to see a bit of a turnaround in some of these currencies. Now we have been talking about this for a few months and how the interest rate would affect those emerging currency strengths in the new year. So we'll be looking at that as well. Aussie dollar is one of those. We've got the New Zealand dollar as well, which is possibly going to continue to rally into the new year. We're not particularly looking for, we are going to be looking for technical signs on the charts, things that are going to give us some inkling of where we can get into trades. But the main thing is that we keep an eye open to what is going on with regards to the US dollar and the rate hike. We're still very much looking for parity on the euro US dollar in the new year. There's nothing has really changed there. We're possibly going to be looking for the ECB to inject further stimulus in the spring in 2016, so that will be on the cards as well. We do, but where it comes to some of the stronger currencies, some of the currencies which have got a little bit of strength, we expect them to become a little bit more strong against the dollar, and the dollar to actually start to return back to being a neutral currency now that the interest rates have started to stabilise, which means that any currency which is having intraday strength or going through periods of strength will strengthen against the US dollar. Now, one of those I'm expecting in the new year is the US dollar Japanese yen. Again, if you scrunch this daily chart up, you can see the sort of expectation I've got for next year. I was looking for one final rally up to 125, but that looks like it may be adjusted now. We're just down to this area of previous resistance. I think once it breaks below there and makes lows below 120, then it may be the indication that we are just going to continue on this pattern. These areas, these beige areas, are areas of consolidation. And for further drop. So, we're going to be looking at going into 2017, being back down at the 100 level. So that's one of those currencies. We'll be going into a lot more detail on this at the end of the year and in that yearly outlook. But for next week, what I'd suggest is just trying to tuck in the trades that you've got running at the moment, trying to bring that profit in. Obviously, ones that you're getting paid by the broker to hold, then you can leave those running. Things like New Zealand dollar, US dollar buys. Aussie dollar, US dollar buys, Aussie dollar, New Zealand sells. Anything where the country which is the long position has got a higher yield, a higher interest rate, then you can leave those to run over Christmas. It's not a problem. But be careful, obviously, of as we come into Boxing Day as well. Volatility. There's some very strange volatility happens on those bank holiday days for no reason as well, no fundamental reason for those. So be very careful about what you leave open. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope we have a good week next week, just before the end of the year. Thank you very much.